So one of the things that I like to do when I travel is to, as best I can, experience some things in the local area. And for me as a bodybuilder, one of the things that I love to do is to train at different gyms when I'm on the road. And I've had the ability over the years to train at some amazing gyms like the Super Gym in Connecticut, Bev Francis Powerhouse in Syosset, New York. I've been to Gold's, Venice, and now, as a comic book collector, one of the things that I like to do is to visit local comic shops, because what I found is that every comic shop, just like every gym, is very different, very unique, and has something to offer that might be a little bit different from some things that I've experienced in the past. So recently, I made a trip to Texas, and I reached out to some folks in the community and said, hey, I'm going to Texas. Where should I go? One of you reached out to me, gave me some recommendations. I went there. I had a blast. If you want to know some of the details, stay tuned to this video. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. I just returned from Texas, and I have to tell you, I had a blast. I was there for a presentation and had to present to a few hundred people some work-related stuff that we are not going to talk about in this video. But I had a blast because I reached out to some folks in the community and said, I'm going to Texas. What shop should I go to? And his DDK Comics responded and said, you have to check out Titans Comics. And I actually changed my flight arrangements to actually fly home early because I had some things that I had to accomplish here at home. But I wanted to make sure that I got by Titans Comics before I left town. So I jumped in an Uber, shot over there, and the place was awesome. It really was. Everything is big in Texas, and that includes the comic shops. This place, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw some of the footage of this place. It was massive. They had aisles and aisles of back issues. They had huge cases full of statues, something that I'm not really into, but the statues were amazing. If you're talking about Deadpool and Batman and just you name it, he had like 6 or 7 different Iron Men in there. It was an amazing shop. What also made it really cool was from the moment that I hit the door, I was greeted and I was welcomed and I was asked if I could be assisted in any way. And I can't tell you how many shops that I've been into where the owner or whoever worked there never actually spoke to me. And so to be welcomed that way by Jeremy and his staff really blew me away. For me, and you guys know this, it's not necessarily about going somewhere or buying something. It's more about the experience. And I actually had an opportunity to chat with Jeremy and his staff for probably a good 30 minutes. Where we were just talking about different comics in the shop. We were talking about Secret Wars, because you guys know I'm all about Secret Wars right now in that second print run. But we talked about that. We talked about what's happening with the comic book industry now as it relates to, all of the movies and TV shows that are being announced on a regular basis. And I also had a chance to look at some amazing books. If I mentioned a book, Jeremy had a book for me there in the shop that I could take a look at. I honestly had an opportunity to hold some books that I've never actually seen before in person. So that was really cool. I didn't buy many of them, but it was really cool to be able to see some of these books in person that I've only seen online or, seen behind glass or something like that. But this was just an amazing shop staffed by some awesome people. So if you have an opportunity to get down to Dallas, Texas, I would encourage you to swing by Titans Comics and have a conversation with Jeremy and his wonderful staff. Now, with that, I did purchase a couple of things. I could not resist because I was there, and you have to buy something, right? So one of the things that I picked up was Thanos's first solo story. I have his first appearance in many of his books, but I did not have his first solo story. And so I picked up Logan's Run #6. It's a pretty solid copy of the book, but I picked this up again because I did not have it in the collection, and I wanted to make sure that I snagged it. So I picked this up. I think it's a pretty solid representation. It can definitely benefit from a press. There are some a couple of color breaking folds over here, and a couple of non-breaking folds that I think can be corrected with a press. Otherwise, it is in pretty solid shape. It's a pretty nice book with some wonderful colors. You can see the back side of the book here is also pretty darn nice, so can't complain about that too much. The second book that I picked up is maybe I was on a cosmic kick still, didn't pay attention to that, but clearly there is a theme here. I picked up Fantastic Four #66. It is the first part of him's appearance in the Marvel Universe. This was a book that I've spoken about in previous videos when I talked about the first appearance and the first full appearance of him or Adam Warlock. So if you haven't seen that video, you may want to take a look at that. But this is a really wonderful story, and it's also a really wonderful copy of this book. Just a really nice cover, but a great clean copy. You know, there's a little bit of a miswrap, as you can see on the back side of here, a little bit of a miswrap with the cover, but the book itself is in really great shape. Solid corners, great color. The back is in pretty great shape, but again, a little bit of a miswrap there with the cover. But you know, it is what it is. For the price paid, I honestly can't complain too much. But again, two great pickups from the great state of Texas. Titans Comics. If you have a chance to check it out, I highly encourage you guys to swing by. DDK Comics. Brother, thank you very much for the recommendation to go to the shop. Next time I am in town, I am hopeful that we'll have a chance to meet up. I apologize we weren't able to do it, to get together, but happy anniversary to you and your wife. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to do so. If you are a subscriber, be sure to leave a comment and hit that like button. Take care, and thanks a lot.